Hello everyone, welcome and welcome to my channel. And this is a new video, another video, strategies, tactics and boosts for this week's event. And as you can see behind me, it's Spain Origin series event. And this means that Fernando Alonso, my favorite, and Carlos Sainz are the two boosted drivers for this week, and we're going to see at the live stream of the qualifying session. We're going to see if and how important is to have these two drivers boosted, because I am sure that they are going to make a difference this week. They are going to be a major factor in the results of qualifying and mostly opening and final. But we will see this at the live stream of Wednesday. On Wednesday, today we're going to see, as always, the four tracks of the qualifying round. And as you can see here, it's Netherlands, France, Mexico and Italy, Monza. Probably rain in France, 29% of raining, and Monza 35% of raining. Let's see what we have to say about those four tracks. So, track number one, Netherlands, Zandvoort, and here we usually try to go with acceleration and speed, but alternatively, of course, we can use boosts and aim our tactic to grip and corners. Tire management here is not a factor, so we don't need boosts with tire management unless we want to do the 4 laps with a soft compound. Then we will probably need a little bit of tire management, but let's start and see our strategies for Netherlands. So if you are in the middle of the pack, and if you are at the top of the pack, but let's say now in the middle of the pack, Hex Instinct, Firework, Hook and Vice. The first Hex Instinct is more about speed and overtaking. Firework is a little bit of acceleration and speed and overtaking. Hook and Vice are mostly acceleration, and then Hook is about well, why do I only say what it is and not look at it? So here we are. So if we choose Hook, we are choosing to have good acceleration in the straight that it's in front of the pit lane, where at the end we always overtake opponents, other cars, and 5 in overtake. That's the two main reasons we are using Hook. Of course, it would be a little bit of a quicker pit stop with it. If we use Vice, then again we have acceleration, more acceleration. We have a little bit of speed and a little bit of grip, so it's a mix of strategies. A little bit of, I'm going with the third choice. As you can see, we have chosen Skalzin and Oud, and a little bit of Hook because of the acceleration, the acceleration, and of course speed. It's a little bit a mix of all of these strategies, I would probably go with hook because of the overtaking and because there are lots of spots in the track, inside the track, that we're going to overtake other cars, and having a boost that helps us makes overtaking more easier, more easy. It would be a good choice. So even we could think about Palm, about Eternal Flame, which are boosts with overtaking, alternatively to hook or vice to hook mainly, and of course here's Hex, Instinct and Firework. We all know Hex and Instinct, speed and overtaking, and let's remind you a little bit of Firework, where we have speed, overtake and acceleration. So if you go with these strategies, it means that you are aiming to the first plan, which is speed and acceleration and of course overtaking, but you can always choose to go with grip, corners. So if you choose something like that, the best choice is Skull. The best choice is Skull because, as you can see, great with corners, with corners, and it gives us a little bit of fuel use, which is useful because here we don't have problems with tire management, so we can push a lot and probably we will run out of fuel. So it's useful to have fuel use, and it gives us 2 in overtaking. So if you choose to go this way, this strategy, not the Fast and Furious, but with grip and corners, then Skull is the best boost you can choose. And of course we can use our excellent Jin, which gives us corners and grip. Don't worry about pushing, tire management is not an issue here. And of course Wood, which gives us corners and grip, and we will have a very quick pit stop. If you are at the back of the pack, at the back of the grid, I would probably choose the third strategy with Skull or Jin or Wood, and one of the first two. If you are in the middle of the pack, I would probably go with the first two, but the third one is not is very good and it can give you good results. So that's it for Netherlands, and let's go to our second track. Excuse me. Okay, now we are here. France. So, and here we have 29% possibility of raining, so we'll see both strategies. As you can see, we have lots of straights here, and as you've already known, there are many spots inside the track. Here mainly we overtake inside the track, and most of all in sector 3, the yellow sector, at the open corners, the open turns that are they are very fast turns, and you can overtake easily there. So we usually and we did it in the last event and it worked perfectly in the middle of the pack or in front of the pack. If you are in the grid, 2-3-3 and 3-3-2, the stints with the 3 laps with a medium compound and the stint with the 2 laps with a soft compound, and Hook, Instinct, Vice and Hex. As we say, we used Instinct and Hex last time and they worked just fine. In previous events we were using Hook and Vice and they worked perfectly too, but Instinct and Hex, we chose them last weekend and they worked perfectly. One thing I want to tell you about this strategy, when you go 2-3-3, the third stint, if you have pushed a lot in the first 2 stints, in the first 5 laps, and you don't have enough fuel, then don't choose the medium compound for your last stint, but choose the soft compound, because you are not going to push at all the red button because you don't have fuel. So choose the soft compound, do not push the red button, and the soft compound will take you until the finish line. Almost the same can be told about if you go 3-3-2. If you don't want to push in the first stint, then use if you use the yellow button, if you go with normal speed in your first stint, then don't pick medium compound but pick the soft tires for your first stint, and then medium, and again of course at the last stint 2 laps with a soft compound. Alternatively, a very good choice is to go for one pit stop, medium compound in both stints, and Taurus and Frost, because we need a lot of tire management in order to get 4 laps here, and it's a very good strategy. And if you are at the back of the pack, yep, this is the strategy you are going to use for your driver that is at the highest position, and for your driver that is at the lowest position in the grid, you will do the undercut 2-3-3 Instinct or Hex. Well, if it rains now, if you are at the front of the grid, or let's say 7th, 8th position, 7th, not further down, then 2-3-3 with Hex mainly, or Cranberry and Merlion as second and third choices is the right choice for you, especially if you are starting from 1 to 5 positions. 2-3-3 with Hex, and it will do the job. Now, if you are in the middle of the grid, then 4-4 again with Hex. You can go 4-4 with Hex or Koopa. Let's see as we talk. Let's see why Koopa. Koopa, because it's a very good, it's a great boost in rain. As you can see, 5 points, and it gives us a little bit of acceleration and overtaking. It's easy to overtake in France, and this will make it even easier. And the third choice, which we have tested it last event and it didn't go well, but I'm going to test it again. It's Merlion, which has 4 in wetness, 4 in overtaking, and one in grip, it would be a very good choice too. But mainly I would go with Hex and secondary with Koopa. This is for driver 1. For driver 2, 5-3 with Frost. If you don't have Frost, okay, with Taurus. In order to overtake drivers when they are going to pit, because they almost everyone will pit at lap 4, and we will have one lap to push, make a big enough gap to have a, let's say, free pit stop, and then have 3 laps again being able to push. Well, if you are at the back of the grid, you can easily do 4-4 your driver that is in the higher position in the grid, and 3-5, not 5-3, 3-5 with Frost and only with Frost, or Taurus if you don't have Frost. 3-5 again, the undercut for your driver if you are at the back of the grid. At the middle of the grid, well, 2-3-3 is a very good choice, and probably 4-4 with Koopa, because 2-3-3 you are going to choose Hex for sure. So that's it for France. Okay, and track number 3, Mexico. Well, we were going with the same strategy for a long time, until not this last event, the previous one. Our guest changed everything, changed how we see this track, and not only this track, all tracks that are similar to Mexico. So you see the big straight in sector 1 in front of the pit lane, and this is what we are going to use to overtake other drivers. This straight, we will be cruising the rest of the track, and we will be pushing only in this straight. So Firework, Eclipse and Deadfast for both our drivers. If we're in the middle of the pack, 4-4 the first driver and 5-3 the second driver. Very easy tactic. If you haven't seen it working, if you haven't seen it in action this Wednesday, subscribe to the channel so you will get notified when we're going live, and you will see it live how good this strategy is. So 4-4 with a medium compound, you can choose the soft compound, but you have to be a little bit more conservative about pushing if you use the soft compound. And 5-3 with Deadfast, because we need a little bit of tire management so we can push in these 5 laps. So we can push in these 5 laps and make it to the pit stop. This is the fast and furious way, and you could use it even if you are at the back of the pack for your one driver. Go with the first strategy, 4-4 with a medium compound and Firework or Eclipse, or Deadfast, because you are not going to use the same in your second driver, and you are okay. For your second driver, there are 2 choices. You can go 5-3 with Downforce, Nazar, Palm, Eternal Flame or Taurus. And what's the difference here? Okay, if you go with downforce and Nazar, you will have, let's go and see downforce. You will have a little bit of tire usage, tire management, and a little bit of grip and corners, a little bit of everything, which is very useful. And it has given us great results. It's almost the same with Nazar, and this is the one approach. The second approach is Palm and Eternal Flame. Well, here we have a little bit of grip, we have some tire management, but we have great overtaking, so we are trying to overtake drivers inside the track, mainly in our first in the stint with a soft compound, because in the stint with a medium compound we won't be able to push a lot, but in the 3 laps with a soft compound it would be great, soft 5 in overtaking and full throttle. It will probably do the job. So it's the same thinking, the same logic about for Eternal Flame and Palm. If you see, we have a little bit of tire management and good overtaking, and blocking would be useful for the 5 lap stint, because we would probably need to be a little bit more conservative there, so we can maintain our position with blocking. But alternatively, we can use Taurus. Here with Taurus, I would choose Taurus and pick 3-5 this strategy, because Taurus will give us is giving us the ability to push in both stints. It gives us 5 in tire management, which is great, and 2 in fuel usage, which is great too, because which is also great because it will give us more laps to push the red button. So if you are in the middle of the grid, go the fast and furious way. Firework, Eclipse, Deadfast, 4-4 and 5-3. If you are in the middle, if you are at the back of the pack, 3-5 for the driver with Taurus mainly, alternatively Eternal Flame or Palm, and this is for the driver that is at the lowest position on the grid. And probably I would use 4-4 Firework, Eclipse or Deadfast for my driver which is at the highest position, even though it will be back at the back of the grid. Probably 4-4 would be the best choice. So that's it for Mexico. And last, the boot, Monza in Italy, again probably raining, 35% of 35% possibility of raining. So at the top of the grid or in the middle of the grid, 2-3-3 with Deadfast, 3-3-2 with Eclipse. It would be the best choices. If you are at the top of the grid, 1-2, 1-3, 1-4, 2-4, something like that, 2-3-3 with a soft compound in the first stint, 3-3-2 with a soft compound in the first stint, because you want to have a good start, but then you will go conservatively and you will push on the second and the third stint. Or you can go with medium, soft and push with some logic, not my logic, with common logic. You can push in all stints. If you are at the top of the grid or in the middle of the grid. Alternatively, you can go 4-4 with Street Shark and medium compound. It will work perfectly. But my first choices would be 2 pit stops. If you are at the back of the grid, of course 2-3-3, the undercut for your driver with the lowest position, and 4-4 with Street Shark for your top driver. I think it will work perfectly. You are going to overtake a lot of drivers when they are pitting, and don't need to try and overtake inside the track. So that's my opinion about this if it's a dry race. And if it's a wet race, then I think we don't have many choices. 2-3-3 for if you are at the top of the grid or in the middle of the grid. 2-3-3 for your top driver with Hex, and 4-4 with Frost, mainly with Frost. It's an alternative Deadfast, but mainly with Frost. 4-4 with Frost for the driver that is your second driver. This is if you are at the top of the grid or in the middle of the grid. If you are at the bottom of the grid, swap the strategies. 2-3-3 for your last driver, for your driver that is in the lowest position, and 4-4 for your top driver. That's it. Not many things to say about Monza. Mostly you are going to overtake at the let's see it. You are going to overtake at the end of the yellow sector 3. This big fast turn, and at the beginning of sector 1, the red sector, the big straight. Mostly you will overtake there, but if you are in a strategy with Deadfast and Eclipse, probably you could overtake at the straight in also at the straight in sector 2, the blue sector. But mainly it's the turn on the yellow on sector 3 and the big straight in front of the pit lane in sector 1. So that's it for today. That's it for our qualifying round. I hope you liked the video. I hope you find it useful, and if you did, subscribe to the channel. Stay tuned. Press the little bell, so YouTube will notify you when I upload another video or when I'm live streaming. And I hope everything goes well in this event too. See you again on Wednesday on our live stream. Thank you so much. Bye.